Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem HaKadosh, the ones the apostles and the elders of great Most High that rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth, pushing the word to the four corners. Um, yeah. So it's interesting how it's been known for a while, because I think it was early in this year where you had Apple saying the FBI wanted backdoors into iPhones, which these backdoors exist. Because I think it was like WhatsApp maybe where it was exposed. They already have those kinds of things, and it's a nature of how this technology, as they say, is end to end encrypted. But then a lot of these technologies, they'll have backdoors. I think it was Apple, it was iCloud. iCloud. I think it was maybe it was the EU saying they wanted access to iCloud. But it's on Tech Radar, says what the EU wants to decrypt your private data by 2030. The EU Commission unveiled the first step in its security strategy to ensure lawful and effective law enforcement access to data. As EU enforcement bodies could be capable of decrypting your private data by 2030. This is one of the ambitious goals of the EU Commission presented in its roadmap on June 24th, 2025. And yeah, that's the thing, it's like it's really been from the what was it? The Cambridge Analytica expose, where it was you had Facebook selling basically all info out to like advertisers, political think tanks, and whatnot. And people were in a tiff and saying, "Oh, Donald Trump got voted in because they were utilizing that info to specialize ads towards people to get them to vote for Trump." And then you had Elon with Twitter, with the X, with Twitter X, with the platform formerly known as Twitter X, saying that he, after he had the fallout with Trump, saying that he helped Trump get elected. So the aura, the energy around these these technology platforms is that they're a big influential factor. So the privacy aspect has been pushed since the Cambridge Analytica thing, and I think there was the big hack of iCloud as well, where all the celebrity photos and whatnot got leaked, and then after that, they were big on privacy encryption. That became a big thing, and it's been a kind of standard since. And now that's all getting stripped back, and the justification really for it is uh safety control, um essentially justifying it with of uh the dangers of what's it called, of what, the modern world, no, well, domestic tea error is a justification. And then even in the US a bit more, in the UK as well, it's like people posting things online, threats, those those saying people threatening certain discussions online. And then what was it, threats online, and then anti-Semitic sentiment as well online, these things. And then the general security justification in the US as well, where it's like, yo, okay, if you're talking against the government, talking against certain things, they'll justify against you. And that's like what Black Mirror, was it Downfall, I think it's called, the one where, you know, you have a score, and then, you know, capabilities of what you can do is limited by that. And that's, you know, Sesame credits, which they've established in certain spots in China where, you know, your social credit gets too low. You know, you can't travel, you can't move around, you can't get a loan, can't use public transport. It's you know, it gets peak. Um, it's funny as well because even with AI as well, the um, the prompts that people use in AI, those things, like you can get like, you know, they've built profiles off it, because you have, it's like when you sign up, it's you have the option of, you want it to kind of keep track of your history to then give you more specialized answers, because it kind of knows like what you kind of ask towards. Then, you know, all this data is used in, you know, it's part of that B system, how they want to use information, data, to control and try and essentially be like the Most High, man. That's what the, you know, the core goal of it is. All this AI is trying to, you know, be the Holy Spirit, man. Trying to have, you know, access to all data, all understanding, and then just kind of utilize it through technology. This is what the roadmap is: the first step towards a protect EU strategy, first unveiled in April 2025. But privacy experts have already begun raising alarms. How the EU plans to achieve lawful access. Protect EU represents the EU Commission's internal strategy to bolster the security of the European bloc in the years to come. This stems from the work of a high-level group carried on under so-called Going Dark initiative. And that sounds sinister as fuck. The group was tasked by the EU Council in June 2023 to develop a strategic plan on access to data for effective law enforcement. That sounds sinister as all hell. But that's, you know, that's been the justification. And really it was from what was it? After 9/11, the Patriot Act, where it's like, oh, you know, if you're a good citizen, you got nothing to hide. That's, you know, that's the justification. But then obviously it's basically, and then what came from that, they had, you know, Edward Snowden, man, releasing NSA, said, oh, it's spying on civilians, because why? That's really the end goal. That's really the desire, the use of what they want to get from it, man. Control. Specifically, the group's final report, published in March 2025, referred to end-to-end encryption as the biggest technical challenge. Yeah. And that's like, you know, when you're on WhatsApp, it says end-to-end encrypted. Like most, I think even like Twitter, Facebook Messenger, what else is there? Discord, TikTok. In it, you know, in the private message, say it's like end-to-end encrypted. And then with, it's like iCloud and the hell are they called, and any kind of online like Google Drive or whatever, it's gonna be encrypted by like a key that only you know. So like if you have things on like on your iPhone or your iPad, it will say, you know, it'll be encrypted by you, by a certain like password, and then like unless they kind of know that, no, they can't get access. And then, you know, in the UK, I remember like a while back, I did the video on a guy that was getting back into the, so he went, I can't even remember where he went, but it was one of those independent news outlet kind of guys, independent journalists. Then he went to either Afghanistan or somewhere, I can't remember after. then coming back essentially through immigration. Like if he didn't unlock his phone and give them access to it, then he would have basically been treated like a domestic T. That law would have been used against him, and that's what he was told. It was like, okay, you can keep your privacy, but if you do, then you're gonna be treated like, which in reality it's you'd have been fucked, because then he would have thrown in the slammer, and he would have been fucking cooked. Um, but yeah, that privacy is that's not within Beast system. All this information is basically going to be utilized within the realms of that. That's why you're gonna have the chip inside you, because it's gonna be a matter of um, that being tied to the person, and then tracking them at all times, and then able to line up with whatever they're doing at all times. It says the investigation why of law enforcement agencies explicitly targeting the use of best VPN services, encrypted messaging apps, and similar tools. Yeah, so yeah, VPN services, encrypted messaging. Yeah, what was it? Telegram? Telegram, I think is the one. But even that, it's like, you got many a government using it. It was a thing when Trump came in saying, oh, they're talking about national security on these apps. So, they're kind of setting up various angles to kind of combat this, where, privacy is something that, can't be justified. So the roadmap marks a key part of the strategy, providing more detail on how lawmakers plan to address what they're referring to as the growing challenges of accessing critical digital evidence during criminal investigation. So yeah, it's you're saying like, oh, it's for criminals. If you're not a criminal, you don't need to worry. It's only criminals we're gonna be coming against. And we'll say so: data retention, lawful interception, digital forensic, decryption, standardization, and AI solutions, which it's interesting. Lawmakers also seek to promote development AI tools will allow authorities to lawfully process large volumes of seized data. Yeah, and then with a lot of that is going to be profiling, and then even you've had like them utilizing AI with what do you call it, with CCTV, and getting that shit wrong. A lot of AI has been getting the shit wrong, but then what they utilizing it. That's that's the end goal for these tools. It being a part of the structure of the system, man. And that's it's all control, man. That's really what the elites desire, man. They want that control. They want that ability, that capability to utilize this technology. That part of their blessing, man. To have to try and have themselves established forever, which is really that's just what these lunatics are trying to do. Read this. Ezekiel 28:2. It says, "Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God." Yeah, it's that is a man trying to accomplish all this, and not just any man. He's been established as the wicked. His role, his job, is to be the wicked, to be the deceiver, to be the adversary, to resist the resistor. Because that's really what all his aims and goals are basically leaning towards. It says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. there's no secret they can hide from thee. And he is. That's the thing, he's got that technology wiser than Daniel. He knows, even understanding of prophecy is deeper than what Daniel had at the time. You know, Daniel was getting head sick on things getting broken down to him because, you know, it was too much. Now he's got those understandings, but then what's he leaning that understanding, that wisdom towards? With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Yeah, riches, man. Monetary, a lot of those systems are used to, justify wealth, monetary control through wicked means, man. Unjust weight. Man understands it's an unjust weight and could, if he so desire, fix at any point. But it's what they say. It's a no, it's not a bug. It's a feature. It didn't come about because, oh no, it just works out. Nah, that's part of how these systems set up. They do, they'll print money and do huge wealth transfers to the top, man, where you slowly have the decaying of money, where it's basically just become worth less and less, and it's accumulating more and more to the elite, man. And then where they utilize with that money, control, power, enacting their plans, man, their desires, trying to bring a full end of Israel, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians, and then trying to get the blessing for Esau, man. This is what, therefore, thus saith the Most High Power, because thou hast set thine heart as a heart of God. Behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. So yeah, all that wisdom, all that capability, possibility with understanding that you have, it's gonna be a target. It's gonna be used as a justification for these nations we brought against you through prophecy to bring an end to you, man. All that wisdom ain't gonna do nothing. All those means are, okay, we're gonna amass all this and establish this. You'll establish part of it. You're gonna get that chip. You're gonna get certain things in. But then, the fullness of it, that ain't gonna happen. But yeah, I'll leave it at. Shalom, shalom.